We are live. What is up, everybody? There it is. We got the dance from Rich, the Maniacs. How's everybody doing tonight? We got Rich, we got Joe, we got Nico here to go over Lake Lillinonah, the recap from that lake. That was what, 2 weeks ago?
Already 2 weeks. Wow.
Right? Something like that? Almost 3
We're
weeks?
we're going into our third AOI event. Where the fuck
Yeah.
did the time go?
I know.
Sorry,
fine.
can I curse? Am I allowed to curse?
It doesn't
Sorry.
matter. It doesn't matter. It's all right.
Where'd the time go?
Yeah. It goes quick, man.
Dude, I remember back in January, we couldn't wait 3 months for it to get here, so we went to Murray, and now we're sitting here like, oh my
Yeah.
God, we're 3 events in. This is crazy.
I think we have what? Candlewood is after this, right? In July.
I don't know.
Copac.
I
June
think,
Oh,
yeah,
Copac.
Yeah, then Candlewood.
Yeah. I'm excited for Candlewood. Candlewood's always a star.
Candlewood's-
on that.
Yeah, Candlewood's that's a fun lake.
Giants in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
definitely.
is.
But y'all all go away. Candlewood's huge.
That
Y'all
far
all
away, and I've never
here.
fished it.
So wait, before you get into your little show, Jermaine, I know you talked to my dad, and he told you about Lake the Forest.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I'm skipping a day of vacation to go to that. I'm telling you, we already planned it.
Is that
Right.
really a kayak event there?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, the reservoir has a kayak event July 29th for $25. You better
Wow.
sign up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
That lake hasn't had a boat on it since 1959, since it's been created.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
There's a
on it and it
state.
doesn't fish.
That's a state. I'm telling you right now, there's a state record largemouth and smallmouth in there. I guarantee. I'd put my life savings on it.
And-
I would
and you know
literally
what's-
take that
You know
bet.
what's funny? Is that years ago, like when I met you, you used to say, "Oh, I wish I could get to that Lake the Forest one day." And I remember I told you I was like, "We should
Here
go out
it
in the
is.
middle of the, we should go out in the middle of the night."
I would get arrested by taking my kayak in there in a couple of years. I'd literally get arrested for trespassing just to go fishing on my kayak. I would take the
Yeah.
charge in a heartbeat.
If it was under United Water, I would say we could still do it. But these French guys that took over, I would think they're going to go.
No,
to
but
full
dude,
extent.
they're allowing it now.
Wow, that's crazy, man. They should.
They
As long as
should.
it's-
No
as long
motors.
as it's not a gas motor, I don't see what the problem is.
No, you're allowed. It actually encourages electric motors. It says bring them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nice. I'm
Yep.
going to go.
I don't think these guys are expecting the kayaks to show up that they're actually going to show up. I don't think they've seen anything like what's about to come down that pipe.
Yeah. Because I want to go. I don't think it's going to be possible because we have a club tournament before. I'd have to like. So that's a question I have. How many events do you have to compete in to be qualified for AOI? It's like 5, right?
So AOI actually doesn't have a qualification per se. Only thing AOI really does is to become Angler of the Year, which is really only the first place, whoever the Angler of the Year is that year. Plus, our top 10 get invited to the New York State Invitational, which is
Okay.
actually at the Three Rivers this year, which is the connecting rivers to Oneida.
Yeah, Seneca River,
Okay.
We went up
That's-
last year.
All right.
We took third out of all 6 clubs in New York. We were right in the money, which just, you're fishing against these guys who lived there all their lives, and those guys are hammers up north.
Yeah.
We were close, and we rented a house, all 8 to 10 of us. Big house. We went out to dinner, had a few beers at the house. Dude, we had a blast. We had so much fun.
So
It's
now,
just that's what most guys are going to qualify for, is the New York State Invitational, because it's
Your
every
best 5
single
or best
club.
4 events?
and that's in October, right? That's October.
What'd you say?
Is it your best 5 events or best 4 events?
It's your, what do we have, 7? So it's your best 5. So this year it changed. It's always been your best 5. So you drop 2.
Okay.
But the classic, the championship, also will count as an AOY event that you cannot drop.
That's 6.
Correct. But you can't drop that one. Any
Yeah.
other event you can drop.
Okay.
The reason we did that is we felt that if you want to be at the New York State Invitational, we need the best of the best and the most consistent that year to be
Yeah.
there. So, and for that to happen, how can you skip out on a championship or bomb the championship and expect to make it to the Invitational?
Yeah.
AOI is based on consistency, right?
Makes
You need to be consistent all the way through the championship also.
sense.
so how do you get into the tournament? What's the
The New York State Invitational, top 10 from our club get invited.
Oh, the top
If
10.
one or 2 can't go, it does roll down to 10, rolls down to 11, 12 until we fill 10. It keeps rolling down until we can fill 10 people.
Gotcha.
We will be paying, so it's a $100 entry for the tournament. We, as a club, will be paying for the top 4's entry fees.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Cool.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I think that's my problem is that I missed 2 events already, so I can't miss any more. Essentially,
you can't miss any more. And dude, the Invitational, it's so much fun. I know. I know these, the guys up north, HVKBF, Slay. I know a lot of them. You'll meet a lot of people. They ran such an awesome event. I won a Douglas rod last year. I think I placed, I don't know, 10th or 11th, maybe 12th out of like 60 or 70 individually. I won a Douglas rod. They gave out prizes to the top 30 or something like that.
that's pretty cool.
Dude, it was they had barbecue ready to go, pulled pork, drinks, everything for everybody ready to go at the awards. It was so much fun. They did an awesome job with that. They really did.
Nice.
Yeah.
So,
right. I guess we'll touch on the topic at hand, Lilly. So, we got first was Rich, we got second Joe, and we got third the newbie Nico.
Yeah.
So, I can't change.
Talking, I'm pretty new myself. So. What were you saying, Joe? What were you saying, brother?
Oh, I was talking to my son, Dane. I said,
okay.
On TV. Okay. I said, come on TV for a second.
Yeah, right.
Dane, come here.
Yeah, I guess Nico, we'll start with you real quick.
Okay.
Give us a little intro. How long you've been in the club, and obviously you came in third, so you got your first placement there.
Yeah. For the actual.
He's the future fisherman.
That's it. I was just about to say he's the future of the club.
Oh, so hey, I'm Nico from Nicolas. It's my first time ever doing kayak tournament fishing. I kind of dragged my feet on it for the longest because I was kind of worried about like, am I gonna like tournament fishing? Like, I barely have enough time to do fun fishing, and I really value that. So, but this year I was like, no, I'm gonna, stop dragging my feet and jump into it. And it's been fun. I pretty much the only body of water I knew was Rio. So everything else is all new bodies of water for me to start fishing. And going into, was it Lilly? All I heard was like terrible things for the most part.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing to myself. I'm muted, but you're correct. That place sucks ass.
Yeah. All I heard is terrible things. And then 2 weeks before the event, I went out because it was Mike Tompkins. A bunch of guys went out. And I skunked on bass. I caught everything. I caught a freaking rainbow trout, crappie, rock bass. I caught everything under the sun but a damn bass. So I was like, oh my God. And what do you call it? Going into the actual event, I was just like, I'm just going to fish the water that's in front of me. I ain't going to worry about zooming all the way to the north or zooming all the way to the south and around the corner. And I started out, there was fish busting. It was a mix of carp and smallies just hitting top. Every once in a while, there's like a 30-pound carp would jump out of the water. It'd be like, oh, smokes. And then throwing out a spook, couldn't get anything to go for a spook, which kind of pissed me off because there was fish jumping all day long. I couldn't get them to hit top water at all.
Yeah.
I throw a jerk bait, which I love throwing jerk bait, right? But nothing on a jerk bait. So I was like, screw it. I saw a fish on a bed around like 6-something, little like 14-inch smallmouth. I tossed out a drop shot to it, shook it once or twice. There's my first fish. I was like, oh, okay. Continue working the shoreline, that first shoreline when you get out of that whatever pond brook, whatever the hell that launch is called. Working the, I guess, was that the west shoreline when you're coming out on the left, or maybe that's the east. I don't know. Anyway, working my way up towards the docks, saw smallies that were like actually chasing like the bluegills and red-breasted sunfish or whatever that were all spawning on there. So I just was fishing shallow pretty much. I caught all my fish between like a foot to like 10 foot of water. Okay. Slave Nation came around the corner. They actually cut me off, and like that kind of annoyed me because I was like, he came in at like 30 yards and there was nobody in front of me for like that whole like half a mile, 3/4 of a mile stretch to the bridge. I ended up crossing to the other side, and then I caught the lunker, which was that 20 3/4 smallmouth, which was kind of cool, in front of the dude that cut me off because he ended up crossing back over, and basically I couldn't call a little 10-incher I had, and that was my day. But it was fun.
All right.
Jermaine, if I may, for your viewers, Lillinonah or Lillinonah, I don't know which one, just like Rio versus Rio.
Yeah.
It's a river system in the Connecticut River that's dammed out and formed a lake. Yes, there's still current, but it's like barely moving. You can't even tell, depending on the dam flow, because our kayaks did float away in the morning. Jermaine, did you know that? Our kayaks, my kayak was floating down the lake when we all got up at 4 a.m. So we got there, the water was down like 6 feet. I guess they closed the dam overnight because I dropped my kayak in at midnight. I woke up and Tompkins like, yo, they're going to get your kayak. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're funny. I'm like, I don't got time for this shit. It's 5 a.m. Leave me alone. My kayak was like 150 yards across in the woods. It floated off the shoreline with 4 other people's kayaks that Ralph and Kyle had to take theirs to go get everybody's stuff.
Jesus.
The water came up 3 to 4 feet in 3 hours.
That was crazy.
I'm not even kidding. I thought they were joking. They weren't joking. Our kayaks were gone.
Yes.
Floating with all the gear.
Could have been bad.
So Lily's a deep, very heavily natural structured, wood structured river system. It'd be very tough. It drops. I mean, there's some spots that are 75 feet deep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's pretty straightforward. There's only 2 or 3 corners or coves. It's not it's complicated because it's basic. Does that make sense? It's complicated because there's just not much to fish. Unless you know drop-offs and stuff, you're going to be sitting on timber almost all day.
Yeah.
So that's just a little breakdown of the place. It is a very tough fishery. There is 40, 30-pound carp. There's monster pike. There's monster tiger muskie, perch. You name it, it's in there.
All right. Joe, what about you? What was going on for you over at Lilly?
So like I had went up there and pre-fished, and like when I was coming out that pond brook, there's like there's a weed bed over there, and I was fishing that weed bed for a little bit, but I wasn't catching anything on the weeds when I went up there to pre-fish. Then I made a left and I went up toward the bridge, and I was fishing for mainly like I was looking in the water and I saw that a lot of the beds were empty. I did see like a few largemouth on beds, but most of the beds I was seeing were empty. So I was like, I think this is going to be like a post spawn deal. And if I saw like 1 or 2 largemouth on the bed, I knew all the smallmouth were long done. So I was definitely looking at post spawn smallmouth, and probably a few largemouth still spawning, but most were already done spawning. But as I went up toward that bridge, I kept fishing. I didn't catch much at all. I mean, I caught a largemouth on like a piece of wood, like at that first, when you come out of Pond Brook at that first point, I caught one there. Way upriver, I caught another smallmouth, but it was random. You know what I mean? And I went all the way up to the bridge and past it, and I just kept getting snagged, and I was getting pissed off. And also the water was murky. It wasn't clear; it was murky. So I went back.
Like 2-foot visibility for sure. Yeah.
I went back after that pre-fishing, and I wasn't happy. So for the tournament, I went back on Google Earth. And knowing that I was going to go like a post spawn deal, I looked again, and I was targeting smallmouth. I wanted to find the smallmouth. So when I went on Google Earth, if you pull up the lake, and you pull back a few years and see the last drawdown, you'll see that a lot of points down toward the dam were like small pebble points, small rocky pebble points, pebble rocks. Like more sandy.
Hey Joe, I'm gonna cut you off.
Yeah.
For all your viewers, what he just said, a lot of people don't know.
That's right.
Go to Google Maps.
Yeah.
And you could go back from the years previous and look at the drawdowns and the drawbacks from the lower lakes and stuff.
I think they make you pay for it now. But
I'm not sure, but you could see the drawdowns, and you could actually see 10, 15 feet of shoreline.
Right.
see what's there and
Especially
riprap.
dams, especially dammed rivers and reservoirs. Not so much natural lakes, but
Like,
sometimes.
yeah.
But what I did notice about down toward going the opposite way out of Pondbrook was there was those pebble points, which I know smallmouth like, those sandy points, and I didn't see that up north. It's more muddy and clay, and I was like, all right, so the tournament, I'm gonna take a guess, and well, I should say that when my pre-fish, I started going down toward that first river where that Sheepshead River is. And I saw there was a lot more activity on that point there, but I didn't fish it much. It was like the end of the day. So I went for the tournament. My plan was to go down toward the reservoir. So I went down toward the dam, and immediately after I passed that river, it started getting super clear. The water was like super clear, and I was seeing a lot of fish just busting on top. And I was like, all right, well, I think I'm gonna throw top water because I couldn't resist with all the fish busting. And I went to those coves. I was looking for any coves that I saw on the map that had those pebble points, which was most of them down there. And anywhere I threw a top water at the point of or the mouth of a cove, like right where the beach meets the deep part of the cove, like as it's coming out, I was catching a big smallmouth right there. So I did that 3 or 4 times. I lost like 2 big smallmouths on top water. Then I kept going down the river, and then all of a sudden the river started getting dirty again. It was kind of like debris, and it was cloudy, the water, and I wasn't catching anything. And I said, all right, I'm just going to stop what I'm doing. I turned back around, but I went to the other side. I caught another one up there on the other side. I started catching fish again where it was clear, and then it died. The top water bite died, and the rest I caught off of timber, pitching a jig. I caught I culled out a bunch of my fish. I had gotten smaller ones. I culled them out, got some bigger ones on the jig, and that was my day. And then I was ready to go for the win. I was talking to Jermaine, and then Rich goes, "Hey, stupid!" And it like pulled up behind me with, I got 90 inches, and I was so fucking mad. You know?
Nice segue transition.
Yeah.
Nice
So, I don't
segue
know.
transition.
I was pretty proud. Like, I was pretty happy with how I did. I did good at Zor last year. I won Zor, and you know, the thing I know about the Housatonic is, like, if there's river current pulling, the fish are going to be active. When that river doesn't move, you're not going to get any bites for a while. You're going to have to really finesse. And you know, the same thing with the Hudson River with the tides. Same thing with the Susquehanna. And you know, I started, like, you know, kind of Rio is very similar too. I think the way that plays, it's like a river system. So, you know, that's what I did.
It gave me real vibes for sure when I was fishing Lillinonah, because
Rio fish is very similar.
Similar, yeah.
And
well,
another thing is when I throw very close up on shore on the river, I tend to do good, and I think those fish go real close to shore to feed off of, like, maybe crayfish or whatever.
Yeah, they were hitting those bluegill beds, man. Those sunfish beds.
The bluegill bed. Yeah,
they were chasing them. That's where I saw a lot of activity. But what's funny was I was fishing in that more dirty water. I wasn't really fishing clear water where I was.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you were fishing the dirty water, I would have probably changed my tactic to largemouth. But
but I caught 4 smallmouth.
No, you were catching smallmouth.
I caught one largemouth. Yeah, I caught one largemouth.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
On a drop shot.
I didn't do any of that. I was pitching a jig. The jig was working. I was like, and by the way, if you're gonna fish Lilly again, there's not a lot of snags toward that end of the lake. I can't deal with that shit. That I snagged every other cast on going all the way on the river. Maybe that was just me, but you know, it seemed to be like much more straightforward.
Text pose the drop shot, so I could, like, drop it in there and it wouldn't.
Right.
Too bad.
Yeah. But I like Lillinonah, and I like Zor, and you know.
All right, and then Rich,
top water wonder.
Rich ended up coming in first.
Well, it's funny. I was listening to Joe and Nico, and we all started the same tactics. I went north, way past the bridge. Man, I was moving, pedaling, motoring. I was winded by the time I got to my spot. I ran as fast as I could. In that 30 minutes, I was winded because I don't really pedal anymore because I'm lazy.
Right.
I think I had 3 largemouth on top water in an hour and a half, but I think my biggest was 13 inches. Honestly, in the first hour and a half. Ran into
13.
Ralph. Oh, dude, all morning for the first hour and a half, I had 3 largemouth. Biggest was 13. I'm like,
Like
okay, well.
the males probably, right?
And I'm thinking, well, that didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
Like, I had a whole different plan. Fish. Then I took out the drop shot. I did a little jerk bait, a little Texas rigging, did some docks. I can't get nothing to move. I'm not even getting activity. I was probably 4.5 miles up from the ramp, ran into Ralph. So now me and Ralph are bunny hopping. This guy's throwing a spinner bait. Here's an 18, there's a 16, there's a 14, and I'm like, this motherfucker. I threw on a spinner bait. I couldn't replicate it. He had, I'm not going to say what he had because that's his business, but his spinnerbait was a different color, different size, different everything. They just wanted his more than mine. And I'm a spinnerbait guy.
Yeah.
I'm watching this guy right where I just fished, pull him out behind me.
Wow.
Just, sometimes it's the color, the shape, the size, the blades. That's the only thing about spinnerbaits that can be it. And he did have different blade setup. He did have a different size. He did have a different color. And I couldn't match it because I didn't have him with me. Hey, at that point in time, he was better. Huh?
Yeah.
That's how it goes, you know. That's
I couldn't get a reaction bite for the life of me. It was all.
And this guy's telling me he's caught 10 fish already, and I got 3 in 4 hours.
I hate when that happens.
So, Ralph, life lesson for all these anglers out there, tournament, non-tournament, your viewers. Lilly, for me, was a major mental game. Major. I had a game plan. I said, I'll have a limit in an hour, hour and a half, even if they're small. I'm 3, 4, 4.5 hours in with no limit. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and that hits
like, that's not good.
Yeah.
Dude, you could have took a stake to my heart and I would have felt it. I wouldn't have felt anything. I was so beat down from that. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm like, I'm better than that. You know what I mean? So I pulled to the side. I pulled to a corner. I was flipping. I grabbed my my little peanut butter jelly Smuckers. Got my drink. Sat for 5 minutes. Cleared my head. Went back out. Ran into Ralph and Colin around the corner. I'm like, what the heck was I just getting bites on? I said, frig it. I picked up my spook. So that's which I caught all my fish on in the morning. I caught them on a spook. 2 casts later, over a rock pile, bang, exploded on. Right next to Ralph's kayak. It was an 1850. Just random fish. Cool. I said, okay. We're back on something. 2 casts later, next to Ralph's kayak. 1625. Exploded right next to his kayak. I said, this thing is not getting put down the rest of the goddamn day.
Lock it in.
Good old Spook Jr. in bone. I do something different with it that I'm not going to announce here.
It's fine.
Just one little slight thing.
I'll bother you at the ramp.
I'm sure you will. I'll call you after. I'll tell you. I don't care. And I started running the shoreline. You know, I was getting like rock bass blown up and stuff like that. But there's activity. It's the most activity I've had all day.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was bluegill and they were missing it, I didn't care. They were because they wouldn't touch anything else. Even if it was a rock bass hitting it, if they're hitting it, in my opinion, a bass is going to hit it. They have the same type of feeding schedule, in my opinion. Even though bluegill eat everything, sort of rock bass, but they're keying on it like a shark. They're still going to key towards it. It's attracting them. So now I got whatever. I got like 4 fish with like 2 11s and a 12 left. I'm like, okay, I'm not last. I feel better a little bit. I'm bunny hopping Ralph and Colin. We just ran into each other. Now, if you guys know north of the bridge, it gets skinny. So we're literally bunny hopping each other every 15 yards. Pain in the ass. But just how it is. I take some random cast up to some log. Dude, I thought a dolphin exploded. Water went everywhere. Dude, my line just ripping. And I'm like, okay, it's a good one. It comes up and does a little tail walk across the water. My heart sank. I said, it's a monster. Bro.
You need this.
If I didn't, I probably would have went home if I didn't land this fish. I would have been heartbroken.
Yeah.
It came over a log jam. I couldn't stop it. I have 10-pound leader. I can't stop this fish. It's that big. It wraps me. It goes straight down, 10 feet, 12 feet. And I know there's a log under me because I could see where it came from. Wraps me around the log. I could feel my line rubbing. Okay. I move my rod. I finally get it out. Comes back up. Water walks. Does all his thing. Now, Colin goes, yo, is that a big fish? I said, I'm telling you right now, it's 21 plus. It's 21 inches. He goes, no. Dove right back down. Wrapped me around the log again because I can't stop it. If I stop it, it's going to snap me.
Yeah.
Now it's got me wrapped. Left side of the log, underneath, right around. I pedal back 4 pedals to back up. I stick my hand in the water past my elbow with my rod to pull this damn fish from back under the log.
Shit. Was
Came
it
back
21?
up. That was that 27.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Smallmouth.
Wow.
Dude, I got it in the net. I just sat there and I went.
Yeah,
That was the most nerve-wracking fish because of those logs that I felt in a while. I thought that fish was gone. I thought I was done. I thought I was dead to rights. I thought there was no way in hell I'm landing this. No way.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Funny. Because my 27.5, she ended up like knocking herself out.
Not on it's right.
No, yeah. Because she did like, I hooked into it. Well, first I cast out, like I skip under a tree, and like low branches on that like drop off side, and I saw like a fish like bust towards the shoreline because again it was like hitting these like I don't know like 4 or 5 inch like small sunfish that were there, and cast out, wait, and then I like shake it, and then thunk, runs out like almost under my kayak, then comes back out, does like 2 jumps, and then the third jump she kind of like tail walked into the side of my kayak and like kind of like stunned, and I scooped her. I was like, okay, we're good. I caught it. And it was 27.5.
So you don't net your fish. You knock them unconscious. Got it.
That's the secret.
That's it.
Secret.
So you
Knock
got
them
to sit on the
unconscious.
board.
I've actually had smallies come up, go to jump, and they actually hit the underside of my boat when they go to jump. I've had it before.
Yeah. They're angry. They just like you set the hook on because I lost 2 nice ones that like you set the hook,
come flying up.
They just immediately just straight vertical.
Or they charge you. They charge at you.
Yeah. You're like
they're pushing the deeper water.
Yeah, the big ones always usually run.
The worst is when you're paddling, you're going straight, and then they just charge at you, and that slack line goes, and you're like, oh, that's the worst. They know exactly what they're doing.
I think so.
Stupid. They're not stupid. Here's a good one from Cooler Lit AP 120. So I'm going back to the jackhammer. I have no confidence in the Evo. Have you guys tried
jackhammers are terrible. Well, so I'll touch on that, but they're terrible. Who buys jackhammers? Nobody.
Rich.
Anyway, I ran the spook the rest of the day. Funny quick story. Colin was next to me. Ralph already passed 100 yards. He goes, I'm clearing up. I see Colin going past Ralph. And Colin stops 100 yards. I'm like, oh, shit, he's telling him. Because I wasn't going to say anything to Ralph at first. I could just feel Ralph's like emotion once he said it was a 20. Even though he's like 150 yards away, I could just feel it coming off of him.
Yeah.
You and Ralph go at it. I love it.
Yeah, we're good friends. But he knows I had the 16 and change. He knows I had the 18.5. And then somebody just told him I caught a 27.5.
Yeah.
So here's the funny part is I went past the bridge. Dude, like Joe said, I realized every rock point, anywhere there was chunk rock or pebble rock with chunk rock, and when the water dipped down till it turns blue that you can't see the depth real quick, I would throw a spook right over that little crest. Every single point I got exploded on. 16, 17, big ones. And I went from all largemouth in the morning to my entire bag being smallmouth by the afternoon. My bite, when that wind picked up the last 2 hours, just exploded. I'm taking 15 and a half going like this and throwing it back.
Right.
When I didn't have a fish for almost 4 hours.
I made a mistake by continuing with the jig when the wind picked up. I should have went back to the top water.
That's what I did. When that wind picked up, I went back to and people make that mistake. Oh, it's choppy. Oh, it's this. They're not going to see it. Bullshit. That's when they go nuts.
Right.
When that wind picks up, they go nuts for that top water.
Yeah.
Especially smallmouth. You ever heard a spook come into the water when you can hear it 30 yards away? What do you think they hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, sound travels a lot farther and faster in water. So
You know what they hear?
Dinner bell.
The jackhammer. Like your buddy was saying. I don't know who that is. You know what the jackhammer? You know what the jackhammer sounds like underwater? I don't even want to know. That thing is so loud.
Jackhammer.
tapping on the fish tank.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you hear when you're reeling, you go and you
The
hear
whole
it
time. Yep.
crazy.
To touch his point, if you don't mind, if I jump into that,
please.
you're in jackhammer season now. You're going to be Bantam's pretty far north. I was there yesterday. Beds are clear. They're post spawn. If they're post spawn up there, they're post spawn every single where that we fish. There's not a single spot they're on beds. It's done. You're in jackhammer spinnerbait season right now. Now's the time. They're not going to be big and fat. They're going to be long and skinny.
That's
but
fine.
you will catch fish.
For a kayak tournament.
Exactly. We don't need weight. Now's the time for a jackhammer. And the best advice I can give him, I'm a big jackhammer guy. Everyone in the world who knows it, I'm a big jackhammer chatterbait guy. I've thrown every single make, model, color, size you can imagine. That's one of my number one confident baits that I will always have tied on. Even if I shouldn't be throwing it, it's still tied on. Best thing I can tell you is your best friend's a grass edge with a jackhammer.
Yep.
And do not be afraid to throw it into the grass and into lily pads. When you do that, you slow your retrieve down to make it ricochet more off the lily pads instead of fighting it. What was that movie? Friday Night Lights. Remember the championship when they told him not to fight it, to roll with it? You remember that at the end of the championship?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it's the same thing.
Right.
Roll it off the pads. Bounce it like it's a wobblehead. Bounce it off and reflect it like it's a
It's like a crankbait.
crankbait. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's what I do with the swim jig. I'll throw like
Slow
a
it
half
down.
3/4 ounce swim jig in the pads. Right
Bounce it
underneath.
off.
Sly Fox said
That's perfection.
loudest.
So you?
It might be the loudest, but I'm not confident in the Labrador because I'm not a fan of them.
Nico, you throw the swim jig a lot, right? I've heard you mention.
Yeah.
So like, you fish that like through the water column, or are you keeping it on the bottom?
I'll throw it open water. I'll throw it in the bottom, but if there's grass or lily pads, I'm throwing it right in there. Like
I've never caught a fish
through?
with a swim jig.
What's that?
Serious?
right in there.
What'd you say, Rich?
I've never caught a fish with a swim jig.
That's nuts.
That's
I
my
know.
favorite- one of my
I
favorite
never
things.
have either. I never
Even
really
like
tried it.
In like March, you throw like a big profile, like perch color swim
There they
jig.
are.
And you like slow roll that baby.
Obviously.
Is that the Six Sense Divine?
Yeah.
Is that
I
what there?
love that. Me personally, I like it over a spinnerbait and a what do you call it?
What? You would take a swim jig over a spinnerbait? Are you nuts?
To me, it's a finesse. It's a finesse version of it. I love throwing.
No way!
Yeah. That's for me. I catch more fish on a swim jig than those other two, but that's just me. Everybody.
Well, guess what? We'll find out Saturday, won't we? We got grass, buddy.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I'll be throwing a spinnerbait. I'll tell you that much right now.
I like all three,
So-
but for me, my first thing I pick up is a swim jig.
The only thing a bantam, I'm going to tell you with a spinnerbait, yes, it will catch you fish. I didn't throw much because I just did. I don't know. I know they're going to catch it, but I didn't throw it the other day. I think I threw like 4 casts. You're going to have to fight through the pike and the pickerel to get to the bass with a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
And the pike in there are big. I'm
Alright,
talking 30 to 40 inch pike, no problem in there. They're huge. I mean, they're fun.
And pickerel? Not pickerel. Pike.
No, there's pickerel and pike in there. Ralph caught a bunch of So
I don't know.
Ralph was messing with some stuff yesterday. I think he caught like 8 pike and 9 pickerel or something like that
Jesus.
in 3 hours.
Oh my god!
And now I didn't catch a single one of either.
Happy fish grippers.
Yeah.
I actually forgot them, so I was thankful I didn't catch a single one. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those pike, their head around is like
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying, bro. You catch a nice one, you're not grabbing it by the back of the head.
No. I got little hands, so that ain't happening.
Yeah, like pickerel, you can kind of just like, ugh, you stink and I don't want to touch you, but give me my lure and go.
But that's the thing with pike. When they get that big and they start thrashing at the boat, I don't want them in the net, but you kind of have to because I want my $10 bait back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's why
But
I
the
throw
pike in
I have
there-
my oversized
Yeah,
net,
see,
'cause
Frank
it's
loves
right
pike.
in
Frank's from Canada. I don't even honestly. So, Frank, did your bass fishing season start yet? I don't even think it started yet. It's kind of crazy.
You said his name's Frank?
Yeah, it's Frank.
Frank, you ever fished? I know it's a little closer. You ever gone to like Lake Erie for pike? I always tell you answers, but I went up there for a bass tournament. I caught a 42 and a half inch northern pike,
Jesus.
or 41 and a quarter, something like that. I got the picture. Dude, actually, it was Jermaine. It was in the kayak the one you have. That thing towed me around for like 6 minutes,
I believe it.
and I didn't know that was like a trophy. I just thought it was. I didn't know. This is years ago. Apparently, guys mount these fish over 40 inches, and I caught a fish that people search for a lifetime, and I'm like, ew, get away from me.
Yeah. That's
Guess what?
great.
Hey, by the way, it was on a chatterbait too. Just saying.
Nuts.
Yeah.
You'll catch anything on a dang chatterbait, Rich.
I caught a buffalo
Honestly-
carpet Champlain one time on a chatterbait. That was interesting, and he actually ate it.
My chatterbait bite has been terrible this year. Absolutely terrible.
Hey, what happened with your chatterbaits? I forgot to ask you. Did you get them back?
Oh no, I never found my box. So these bags right here. This is actually some of the good old fishing fam. They actually sent me jackhammers
I got a couple for you.
because I didn't have any. I think I had like 10 to 15 in that box.
I'll give you
Like
some.
I honestly I learned a lesson too. Like now my day box only has like 5 or 6 in there. I literally had like 5 or 6 jackhammers in there that I didn't even throw. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get to throwing these. I'm gonna throw these when the time is right. I'm just loading up my box for the season, and I lost it.
What happened to your box?
I dropped it out of my kayak. Dragging
What,
my
in the
kayak
water?
over. Yeah, no, like on the land. I'm pretty sure on land.
And you didn't realize?
Yeah, I didn't realize because I saw a bear, so I was kind of scared of the bear.
Yo, I saw a bear at Rockland Lake, Rich. I was walking the dog yesterday, and the bear crossed me. Big ass bear, right across
Dude,
the water.
we were fishing the Hudson River, and you had a bear crossing the Hudson
that one
swimming.
too. Remember that? That was awesome, dude.
We're fishing Roundout Creek, and there's a bear swimming across the Hudson River to a log. He thought he was about to climb on his kayak.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I would freak out, bro.
What's that?
Yeah, I'd freak out.
Man, the bear at the creek was like, it was literally like, I don't know, 20 feet away.
Huge.
He just looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
"I'm
ran into
fishing for you,
all the
pal."
time for work. I like climbing over a log. He's on the other side of a log, and they come popping up, and they're like, "Ooh!" And I'm just like, "Hey!" And then they go running.
Oh, that's
nuts.
great.
But Frank said
Yeah.
22 days until bass season opens up, and then he said,
Really?
I live less than an hour from Lake Erie, Ontario, St. Clair, and Huron, but I can catch the big ones locally in the Thomas River. Back in 2017, some guy caught
That's a
the
big
same
muskie.
river or
Jesus.
whatever.
Jesus.
A fly rod.
I don't even know what I would do with myself. 50.
Frank, if you go to Lake Erie, it's probably on the other side. I don't know how the border crossings all that work with fishing. I'm not sure because it's Presque Isle Bay. There's like a swamp back there. There is bowfin also, but there's some monster pike if you want to get on some in Presque Isle. But it's on the New York side. Or no, I'm sorry, Pennsylvania side. Yeah, it's on the PA side.
Air tags and stuff. Somebody told me to do that. Air tag all your fishing stuff.
That's a lot of shit to air tag, though. I mean, it's smart, but like, that's a lot.
Yeah. I guess your bigger stuff. So somebody told me to put an air tag in my tackle box from now on. Like your tackle box, like your 3700s. Just throw one in there.
I got 9 of them in my crate. I can't do
I
that.
don't want to lose that thing.
It's only 9. It's not that big. I mean, get the El Chipos. El Chipolos.
How much is an air tag? Aren't they like $100?
No. They're like
Get one on get the pair tag on Temu or something.
Yeah. you can get some like, and then they have this like a Spanish version. We got them for my job for the license plates, and they're called Chipolos.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, so they were like, my boss said, I think he said it was like $50 for 4 of them or something like that.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, and then you just literally just throw it in your 3700, and like God forbid you ever lose it, you can just go on your phone and be like, okay, well it's around here.
For the record, for all you guys out there, the police will not take that as we can go knock on the door because they haven't.
Yes.
It is not sufficient proof or evidence
Yeah.
to go knock on someone's door. They will assist you in doing it, but they will not say, "Hey, give me their shit back." Just so you guys are clear, it's not significant evidence because the GPS is general location typically.
Yeah, it's a
we do all the time with cell phones. That's why.
Okay.
I'm sure Joe's dealt with. Joe, you've probably dealt with it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So when someone steals a cell phone, hey, it's pinging to this address. Okay, what do you want us to do? You can go knock on the door, and we'll make sure it stays civil, but we can't accuse them of taking it because we can't prove it. Just because it's pinging in there doesn't mean, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's weird.
Exactly.
So for all you guys out there who are listening, just be mindful of that.
So what you're saying is don't ask the police to come.
No, you can. Just they're going to make sure it stays civil. Now, if you get lucky, hey, they'll be like, even though they stole it, yeah, man, I found your cell phone on the floor. I was going to return it. Lying sack of shit. But maybe you get lucky.
Yeah. It's crazy too because actually I posted my video on posted the video of me losing it on Facebook, and there was a net in the video, and the guy who left his net hit me up and was like, "Yo, I went back and got my net. Thank you." And I actually looked for your box and it wasn't there.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh man, I guess it's really gone. So, but at the end of the day, like, it's terrible to say it. Like, I mean, so the way I look at it is, if I personally, like, if I picked up that tackle box, I know myself, and I would have opened it and I would have been like, "Oh my God, I just hit the jackpot! Wow, this is crazy."
But realistically, and I'm not going to put you on the spot. Would you not, if you saw the video, would you not return it? Because I would.
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
If
I would have returned it, yeah.
I would return it if I saw the video.
If it makes you feel better, I lost a rod and reel. Like,
yeah,
$350 setup.
Hey, look, my main thing is this. I'll keep it 100. Maybe I'd be like, "Hey, yo, I'm going to keep these 2 jackhammers because I don't have these colors. And I'm going to bring you your box back, buddy. That's going to be your fee for losing your box."
Yeah.
That's respectable. It's respectable. And like, look, and that was the first thing in all the posts. I said, "Yo, I'll give you at least $100 worth of 6 cents tackle." I'm not asking you to just bring me my stuff for free. I get it. You just found a box. You just found a box of $300 to $400 worth of tackle.
And I just want to make it known, Jermaine's extorting people for jackhammers. I'm kidding.
Only you, Rich, because you got 1,000.
No, I got like 72. Back off, okay?
72.
Crazy.
Give or take. And to mention on your buddy's comment,
hey,
I forgot his name, who said before.
That's what I got, a scrim jig.
You need 3 colors. You only need 3 or 4. You need 4 colors of jackhammers: white, black and blue, green pumpkin, and golden shiner. Everything else, I can care less about. Do I have them? Yes. Firecraw, never caught a goddamn fish on it.
That's right. You don't even red.
Hey, Rich, you got any tips for keeping the skirts on?
Yeah, know what you're doing.
The skirts always fall off on those things.
What?
Really?
I've never had a skirt fall off ever.
I've never had
really?
one fall off.
Never?
They're hand tied. They're hand tied to a wire. They shouldn't.
My first one, and it was on the stealth. It's right here.
If you call Z-Man because your skirt fell off from manufacturer defect, they'll actually send you another silicone
that doesn't
skirt.
happen to you, Jermaine?
It's the first one ever.
Yeah, it happens to me. It gets annoying. Maybe I'm buying the bullshit.
Actually, Joe, you don't remember when I discovered the jackhammer? It was me and you at Congress, and I caught that fucking monster.
Yep.
The 7.3.
Remember at Dick's when they mismarked them for like $3?
Oh,
and we went in there and we like robbed them for fucking 30 jackhammers.
I had that happen with the 110 where they scanned like a cheap like Rapala.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I looked at the bill. I was like, that doesn't seem right, but I ain't gonna say anything.
Yeah. They don't know if they
I
don't
ended
know
up eating anyway, but oh well. At least only paid.
No, but you're not robbing them. That's their mistake. They're not. They don't have responsible. I was the manager for the Dixon Mall here for years.
Right.
I know fishing, so it's different. These kids that they hire, dude, they literally take. He said they'll take a Rapala jointed, scan it twice, thinking it's the same thing that's a mega bass sitting right next to it.
Yeah.
That's their problem. You want to scan that? Go for it.
Right.
Go for it. Yeah.
That's not my problem.
So I remember I went to the Dixon, what is that, Paramus? And this dude comes up to me and he's like, or he asked me, I went up to him first and I was like, yo, honestly, this is the best fishing selection I've seen in a long time. You know, I go to different tackle shops and he actually did a pretty good job. And you got my favorite company. You got a whole wall of 6 cents. That's pretty dope. I'll be back. So I'm leaving and the guy grabs me and he's like, hey, come tell my boss what you just said. I'm crazy for ordering all this stuff.
Well, that's because their Dix is getting rid of hunting, and well, they got rid of hunting, but they're getting rid of fishing too.
Yeah, they're slowing down.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're slowing down.
What a mistake!
I
don't know, man. They seem like the Dix and the Palisades. They stepped up the game a little bit. They got like mega bass in there now.
Do you realize their highest price margin? So when I worked there, you know those lures. First of all, Dix is the most overpriced junk that you'll buy as far as fishing. They're so overpriced, it's fucking disgusting. $20 a jackhammer. This isn't 4 years ago when they first came out. You get them. I can get them now. If somebody wants a deal, I can get you them for anywhere from $9.50 to $11 a piece. If you want a jackhammer,
can you get them for me? Because I have like 3 left.
Yeah.
All right, good.
It's actually one of our sponsored guys in the club.
Nice.
The one that are overpriced with everything. So Ralph called me today with the Dix. They had an ounce and a quarter flipping weight for $12. I'm like,
I saw that.
Are you kidding me?
Yo, dude, I went to go pick up split shots for like, for like throwing like
$7.99.
They were going to charge me like $18 for split shot, like zinc ones or whatever.
Crazy.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. I told the guy, this has got to be mismarked.
Go to Walmart for $2.99.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walmart still good.
Yeah.
So they're markup 60 to 80% on fishing. Anyway, the problem is their biggest loss right now in the entire store, whether it's theft, mismarked, their employees, is fishing. They're losing the most money on fishing in the entire store.
And that people are going in there, they're opening up the boxes and just taking the stuff.
Yeah, they would take out the mega bass stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the what are those 6 cents big swim baits? The like 8-inch
raw.
Yeah.
The trace.
The trace. So I'm not a big 6 cents guy. Some of their stuff. I'm not a big glide bait or a big swim bait guy by any means. I don't own any of them. I'm going in there, and people tell me the trace is one of the worst swim baits you can buy. That's what they tell me. Compared to others, the KGBs or whatever the hell they're called.
Mm-hmm.
The Chads, they're some of the worst you can buy. And I'm looking at all these empty packages stolen. I'm like, damn, you guys just stole the worst swim bait you could possibly fucking get your hands on.
I mean, they're still pricey. They're still $25.
Yeah.
But there's nowhere in Rockland to get them, man. To go.
It's one of our judges in her bathrobe. She does some of our events. But yeah, I'll give you guys a little insight. We got Bantam up next.
Yes.
Saturday. A bunch of us will be sleeping there. I don't know what you guys' plans are.
Yeah,
Joe, are you going?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay.
Sleeping or no?
I didn't register yet.
I'm sleeping there. I know it was like 6. I'm an hour and 45 from there. I'm not close.
Yeah, I'm 2 hours, so I'm sleeping.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I think I'm literally at like an hour and 50. Because Rich, you're about 10, 15 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So
so
you're
I
not
will
going,
be
Jermaine,
there.
or you are?
I'm going. I'm in there.
Okay, good.
Jermaine, we will bring the fridge. Don't worry, we got you.
Honestly,
the
you ready
first
for a
time.
smooth plug? You ready for the smooth plug? If somebody's got the big Z Pro battery, we can plug it in. You like that?
I have a wall outlet in the back of my truck. We're good.
Yeah.
So does Corwin. So does I have a full blown wall outlet, 3-prong. Yeah.
That's
me
cool.
too. I got one in mine, but you got to leave it. You got to leave it running. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So to charge 100 watts, you just got to turn the power on. To charge up to 400 watts, which is a standard wall outlet, you got to leave your truck running.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I'm bringing the cooler. The cooler will be there. Don't worry. Cooler's always there.
End of the day, I just need Uncrustables, sunflower seeds, and water, and I'm good.
Or some honey jack.
No, I'm not touching anything hard. No.
Dude, what were you guys drinking that night when we were at Rio? That's nasty stuff. What was it?
I wasn't drinking.
At Rio?
No, I didn't drink.
Yeah, you tasted it. They had that. Matt brought that weird flavored like nasty stuff.
Oh, I don't remember. Maybe I did try it. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, you don't remember because I drank too much.
I don't think I went to sleep at Rio.
No,
Yeah.
this is the first year you went up there.
Oh, the first year, yeah.
Oh,
First
see,
year,
now he remembers.
Yes. I thought you were talking about this year. No. First year there I was drinking because I was trying to be cool, and I woke up a little hurt, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm never doing this again." Yeah, because I slept for 3 hours.
I was knocking on your window.
And I'm like, "What is going on?" Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I'm never. That was the first and last. First and last. I will never drink before an event again. Maybe a couple brews, but no.
Honestly, that's what I'm saying. I have like 2 or 3 beers, hang out. We all hang out, and then I go to bed.
I can't do the pounding, getting banged up.
Nah, neither do I. I can't do that either. Dude, you're fishing. You sleep 3-4 hours, 5 hours maybe if you're lucky. You're fishing for 8, 2-hour ride home plus traffic because you're leaving at that time, so 2.5-hour ride home.
Yep. I'm probably gonna. I almost fall asleep on the ride home every time.
Oh, me too, man. It's terrible. I always pull over at a rest stop for like an hour. I can't drive like that anymore. I'm getting too old.
Yeah,
for that shit.
That's it, man. I get like.
Damn, you're an old man.
What?
You're an old man.
I know, man. I'm 40. I'm gonna be 44.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Ladies, you're single. Any ladies out there?
Man, I can't drive. I can't. I'll wake up in the. I'll start off in the left lane and wind up in the right lane. I'm like, oh, I can't.
I can't go for that long. I can't drive that long. It's crazy. I get tired and I'm like, all right, I gotta pull over.
Shit, me and Ralph drove straight to the 2 nights just to get to fucking Murray. 14 hours. Straight through. We did it. Yeah, we stopped to the bathroom, grab a drink. We're straight through.
I didn't drink, I didn't drive the whole thing. Me and my boys switched off, but I stayed up the whole time.
No, I didn't. No, dude. Especially we fished 4 days straight, being up at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh no, I slept on the way back. The way there,
I slept both. It's a lot.
The way there, it was.
We
woke up at 5, and we got down there at 9. And then on the way back, I was sleeping left and right.
Well, the thing was, when we drove to Murray, we left at like 6 p.m. Got there at 6 or 5 a.m. straight to a ramp and started fishing. We drove through the night straight to fishing.
That's crazy.
That's awesome.
We were shot.
I would have done the same thing.
I probably would have done the same thing because then you just get off the water, eat, go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, because it was me, Rich Purdue, Tompkins, Kyle, Ralph, Colin. Dude, there was like 6 or 7 of us. My buddy Will Brewer from Virginia. So we were all up to like fucking midnight after we were done. We had a pond in the backyard. Rich pulls a 5.5 pounder out of this little ass pond in the backyard of an Airbnb at Murray. So now we're all back there fishing. The beer came out. We were playing midnight every fucking night.
Oh my god, you guys are nuts.
But it's just, we had a good time. We're there fishing. We're having a couple beers. We're not getting crazy. We're fishing in the backyard. We're fishing for 8-9 hours in the water. Then Rich fucking almost capsized his kayak. Somebody had to go get him because he almost rolled everything. Because, dude, the second day of Murray was bad. It was nasty. Yeah. I took a lot of water over my kayak that day. Yeah. It was gusting 30, 35.
That's nuts.
It was nasty
that guy
day.
On YouTube that this kayak went under. You saw that?
Yeah, he's from Slay. He was actually at Lilly last week, 2 weeks ago with us.
Was
Jack? I know him. Yeah, he fished. He actually
stuff, huh?
He won the Slay event.
Really?
Yeah.
But you guys got to insure him. I hope you guys got insurance.
I do. All my
Yeah, me
kayak and
too.
everything's fully insured.
Yeah, me too. Because that would suck.
All my
though.
gear. All my gear, everything
Insurance
is
is
insured.
nothing. It's like I think I pay $100 for the year or something stupid.
Yeah, I think I pay like $140 and all. I'm covered up to $5,000 on my hull and $5,000 on just my gear.
Yeah, me too. $10,000 I have.
Yep.
It's fine. You'll be good. You get right back with 10 G's.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Imagine them just writing you a check and you just get to start over fresh. It's almost like
I don't know how it works. I'm sure they'll screw me out of $7,000.
So,
you know,
a couple of years ago, when I first got the insurance, I broke 2 rods. Completely my fault. I whacked it with a whopper plopper and snapped the tip, and then the other tip broke when I hit it. I had the warranties from Bass Pro on them still. They were still good. I filed the insurance. They charged you $10 for the claim. They sent me a check for $350. Went to Bass Pro, did the warranty, got 2 brand new rods, and I made out $350. The insurance company. I mean, I think I just admitted an insurance fraud on your stream, but
nice man.
all right, it's years ago.
Yeah.
No, but that's why you pay for insurance. So I forgot I had the warranty. Honestly, I just forgot. Like I went searching for receipts and shit because my girlfriend bought them.
Yeah, because they're gonna ask me. I think they asked me for all the. I think my insurance asked me, "Did you want to get anything else covered?" And I was like, "Oh, would you cover my fishing stuff?" And they were like, "You got to supply us with all the receipts." And I was like,
Yes.
See, I guess
you have to
I
supply
have
receipts.
like a binder full of receipts.
Yeah,
You're smart.
Yeah,
honestly, mine's all in my email because I do a lot of online shopping. So if I really wanted to, I could probably just sit down.
You guys can write your fishing off in taxes as a second job if you really wanted to get crazy.
I probably could, 110% sure.
You could write off. You just got to save your receipts. You could actually write it all off.
Wow, I probably should.
Never thought about doing that.
Yeah,
I'm no tax guy. I would highly suggest you talk to your tax attorney. But
I got to talk to him and be like, "Hey, look, how does that work?" Because
save your receipts. No, yeah, because all your equipment and stuff can be written off as like work clothing almost when you get like outfits and stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You can write it off.
What do you think is going to be, before we get out of here, what do you think is going to be the big kicker for Bantam?
Size?
No, like, yeah, why not? Yeah, what's going to be like what size, like, kicker bass you think is going to be needed?
To win big bass?
21.5. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't even know.
I don't think that big.
No, there's not 21-inch largemouth in there?
No, there is, but so 2 years ago when I pre-fished it, I was with Ralph. I landed a 20, a 20.5, and a 21.25 in 2 days.
God.
All largemouth.
But
it was 2 separate days, and it wasn't during the tournament. It was pre-fishing. So they are in there.
Nico Malone said the same thing. 21.5. He's throwing 21.5. All right.
I'm not saying. I don't know. I just imagine a big post.
I'm gonna say 20. I'm gonna say 20 or 20.25.
Yeah, I would go 20.25.
I was gonna go 20.5.
Yeah.
What do you think it's gonna be caught on?
I like that.
I don't know. That's a loaded question. I mean, the problem with Bantam is I think anybody can catch that bass there because it's not big. It's 950 acres. It's a really good kayak size lake. But it's not big enough to be like Candlewood. It's like a really good kayak tournament size lake.
Let me see.
So I don't know what's gonna be caught on.
It's gonna be on a Cinco or something.
A dead rig.
Yeah.
What was your question?
I got a question for you guys. I was reading. I think, unless I read this wrong, people were talking about launching from that campsite. Are we allowed to launch different places this time?
There's 2 sites. There's the campsite, which you have to pay for. I don't know the rules or restrictions or about it. Call the campsite and find out. It's not like a real launch though. It's like a little like concrete ramp off the side of a road, and then you have to park. You have to park a little bit down the street and then walk to your kayak. It's like a 20-second walk, 25-second walk. Yes, you're allowed, but there's 2 other ramps on here that are full-blown ramps, like the rowboat people and the beach. They're off limits. They're private.
Okay, yeah.
So the campsite, which is by the peninsula, or the state ramp, either one is fine. The state ramp is free.
camp,
The other one is
the camp is on that little peninsula, right?
on the south side of it in the corner. On the south
yeah.
of it, yes, in the corner. I think it's like $8 or $10 or something. It's not expensive. It's more for the pedal guys because you're already halfway down the lake.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you
Yeah.
brought it up. You're the man. Can you zoom in dead center to like northwest? Up,
North.
up. Right there to the peninsula. Zoom in down, straight down. Now left.
This peninsula.
Left.
Wait,
Left.
this
Go
one.
go west.
Okay. This
West.
peninsula.
Yep. Now go on the north side of that, on the west side,
one?
all the way in the corner. Yep, right in that corner. Zoom in. Nope. Too far. You're in the river.
Oh, this
Go west.
campsite right here.
Nope.
No.
Other side.
There you go.
Keep going.
Up.
That peninsula on the left side. Right in that corner.
This
Yep, right in that corner. Yes, zoom into that corner. Yep, that's the campsite. That's where the launch is.
Okay, so there's another launch there.
Yes. Now, you actually have to park right where that road meets into the skinny part of the peninsula. But the launch is like, if you
over
zoom in, you
here.
might be able to see. Yeah, it's like,
Launch
that's where
is
the
over
launch
here.
is. Yeah, and then go to the right with your arrow.
Oh,
Then, yeah, you got to park like right there somewhere. Yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah, it's as far as it'll let me zoom in, but that's the lake, y'all.
Nice.
Hey, want me to show you where I'm fishing all day?
No,
I'll
you're
fucking
fishing.
show you. I don't care. Top
You'll be
right, far east, all the way east. All the way east. There you go. Keep going east.
That's where you're gonna be.
North. Northeast, right there, all the way to the point. All the way to the tip. Nope, right.
This one?
Zoom in. I can't. It's hard to see. I'm on my phone.
Because I know you
See,
were
look,
up here. This is where
red
you were at
marks.
last year.
You see your red fish marks? Look at the red fish marks.
Yeah.
That's
Those
all
are
they-
honestly those are marks. Those are marks from other people.
Yeah, it's not the honest. That's where I'm gonna be all day.
But it says these are pike. I knew because this is where you went last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going there too.
Fuck you.
I mean, you just told everyone, but
No, well,
I'm actually not going there.
well,
I already have. I
here's
got
the
somewhere
kicker.
else.
Am I actually
No,
going
fucking
there,
different.
or am I doing reverse psychology?
no,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
going there. It's a good
Hey.
spot. I don't know if I'll make it.
Does anybody ever fish on the other side up that way?
What other side?
Like the
This
other
way?
side of the lake? The
Or
complete opposite.
This
Yeah.
end.
You want to see what I caught my 19 the other
We
day?
launch at it. Our launch is right here.
Here, yeah.
Yeah. Where did you catch your 19?
Jermaine, go directly southeast of that diagonally.
Over
Keep
here.
going. Yep. Go zoom in. Just south of that little inlet river.
There's
right
like
there.
a sandy beach over here. Yeah.
Right below that
Yeah.
beach, a little inlet. That's where I caught the 19.
See, I'm liking this area. If you go up a little bit, up.
That's where I caught that fat 19 the other day.
You
Was
see
right
that?
there.
You see where? You see that little drop off?
The hump. There's a hump out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what
it's
that
right
drop
there.
off too, right there? I'm liking that drop off
Yeah.
and
I
those
was looking at
right
that.
into that spawning cove. You
This
know?
is interesting too.
Wait, you want to laugh? Where I
What?
caught 4 fish at the end of the day, zoom into the boat ramp. To the boat ramp itself, the actual boat ramp.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Right on the boat ramp, right?
Put your cursor. Zoom in more.
I can't. That's as far as it'll let me go.
Put your cursor on the last dock, on the last boat slip.
This one? Right there?
No, the one at there. No, go to the next one down.
That one?
Can't see. Move your mouse. Nope, the big one. The big one right at the ramp.
This one? Or this
Down.
one?
Yep.
Literally right in there?
Boy, I can't see. Ow, I can't see.
Sorry, my mouse is big so I can see it.
No, I'm zooming in. Hold on. So that boat slip, go all the way to the end. A little bit more. No, yep, that's why I caught 4 fish. I'm not even kidding you.
Probably, like after like a boat tournaments when they release the fish, I bet you in that like
Yeah.
7-foot pool and stuff off that dock, they don't like that first day or two, they don't really go anywhere. There's
I
always
hooked
like,
into a monster
the
right off the
fish.
front of that dock the other day. I never saw it, so I don't know if it was a pike or not. Whatever it
Yeah.
was big.
Interesting. But that's the main launch.
Dave,
I'll
you gotta
probably,
go to
I'll
bed.
probably launch there. Oh, I think I remember Bantam now. I remember it now. Because last year, what I did, the mistake I made, Because I mean, I'm not going to call it a mistake, but I fished this South Bay. I went
The
straight down.
South Bay's got good fish in it.
I ain't catching
But they're not on the shore. You got to push. Excuse me. You got to push off that 4 to 7 foot.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought, and I didn't do it last year because last year
They're not shallow.
what I did.
That place is too shallow.
Yeah, I came right around here, and I was fishing up shallow, and then I remember being right here, and there's a big grass patch, and I was like, "Yo, honestly, I should probably fish on the other side."
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I bet. But
grass is going to be everybody's friend, but
I gotta get going here, so I'm gonna break out because I gotta get this kid to sleep.
All right, brother.
He's milking it.
Yeah.
He thinks I don't know that it's 11 o'clock. All right.
All right, man. Do what you got to do.
I'll see you guys. Thanks for having me on the show, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
All right, guys.
all right, Joe. I'll see you Saturday.
Okay,
good.
guys.
All right, one last question. What's the winning bag? What's the winning bag?
Winning bag. What do you think, Nico?
I don't know, 93.
No, I don't think so. I think you're way high.
Oh, okay. Listen. I've never been there.
Now if we were Canada was the only place I'm gonna say you're gonna hit 90 plus on our schedule.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
And then 88.
86.5. 86 and a half.
Okay, so I gotta lower my expectations a lot.
So one thing that you'll learn about this club, and this is no shot at anyone. A limit goes a long way.
No, it's 100% true.
I think almost every tournament, half the field doesn't catch a limit.
Yeah, at least a third.
Yeah, at least a third. So if
you want me to tell you? You want me to tell you the biggest mistake with people?
What's that?
And the anglers, and I hope they're listening. Stop fishing what you're comfortable. Stop fishing what you like. The fish don't give a shit what you like. You got to figure out what they like. Go watch these tactical bassing videos. Go watch this other guy who breaks down the spawns and post spawn and pre spawn. Fish the time of year you're fishing. Right now for bantam, what grass? You should be throwing lipless to that grass, Texas rig, chatterbaits, topwater, spinnerbaits. Listen, I'm not going to say you can't catch them on shaky heads and stuff, but it's too slow. They're feeding, they're post spawn, they want to eat. Let them fucking eat. Throw a big swim bait, throw a glide bait. They're gonna go after them.
I'm gonna throw. It's a little bit different than I think, and it is something that it's funny you said that. It's something that tactical bassing has been screaming about the last 3 years. And I went to my tackle box and I found it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Fish the season you're supposed to be fishing.
Yeah.
There's a science behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Fish it. These guys aren't pros and lie to you. Do what they do.
Yeah.
Modify it to your standards, but stop trying to, I'm gonna throw a drop shot. Okay, I can throw a drop shot, but I'm not fighting through rock bass and bluegill all day.
Yeah.
Well,
this is frog, spinnerbait, chatterbait. This is power shot's another one. This is moving bait city right now.
Yeah.
This is big bait I want to freaking eat right now. Do it.
That swim jig, I'm telling you right now. Swim jig's coming
A swim
out.
jig, yeah.
She's coming out.
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I got a nice one right here too.
Yeah.
Nico, I'll tell you what. You throw in 3 swim jigs on 3 rods. I'll throw in 3 top waters. I'll bet you $100. I'm a top water guy though. But at the same time, you got to know when to switch as an angler. I did catch on top water. I caught on frogs the other day. We all know that. It was no secret. I threw frogs. Not all day, obviously, but you got to know when that bite switches off. That bite for frogs switched off in a half hour. I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours throwing it without a bite. You got to know when to switch and start changing it up. And when they push off, that sun comes high up and you start getting hot and your sweatshirt comes off. What do you think they're doing? They're getting out of the sun.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing you are.
Getting up under the pads.
That's why I love throwing like a half ounce under the pads. When you hear those bluegills, under there, you throw.
Oh, you're gonna hear that all day. You're gonna hear that all day here.
I like that right patch and stretch of pads, man. You see them.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I caught a good one at Bantam last year, but I don't think I got it. Or what? Like Copake. I think it was Copake. Never mind.
Well, that's the other thing. Nico said it. You're going to hear that all day, little bluegill, rock bass hitting surface. Pay attention to your surroundings. There's no carp in here. There ain't no carp jumping. There's no carp. If something jumps, you bet your ass you better get over there and throw at it.
So I got a secret weapon. I'll share it.
Takes your.
So the first time I'm going to throw it. Apparently, a lot of people have heard about it. I haven't thrown it yet, but I finally got my hands on a Reactions Innovations Vixen. So.
Shut up. Stop talking. Shut.
So, I'm excited. That's all I'm saying.
We don't talk about those. We don't talk about those. But there's a trick to it, though.
Yeah.
There's one thing you got to do that I'll have with me. Remind me, and I'll give it to you.
All right.
I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm thinking of throwing the Gantarelle, but
really,
yeah,
it's a bluegill.
I love getting them on the Gantarelle.
See, I don't own that stuff. I never got into that kind of stuff.
I really have too many big bigs. I got one of these.
What do you got there?
Oh, like wake bait, huh? I've never.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is, but
I forgot what it's called. But
it's almost like a Spro Little John in a big version.
Who sent it to me? Oh, I have his freaking Scales and Tails. Yeah, Scales and Tails. I have his comic book right here. He sent me this too. It's pretty dope. But he's a big bait guy. I had him on the podcast as well too. So, but
I don't know, man. New York Bass Man said he doesn't believe anything we say. I don't know.
All right. So come join the club. Come fish with us if you're in New York. Come to an event and beat us.
Hey, Nico, Jermaine, if you don't mind, Nico's newer this year. He doesn't know any of us. Never knew any of us.
Nope.
He's never fished with us. Never fished a kayak tournament. If I can ask you, how's your experience been? What would you say with the guys and the girls in the club and tournament fishing with us? Because I believe, personally, me, the word tournament scares a lot of people away.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I said. As I was on the page, the Hudson Valley kayak fishing page for I feel like 3 years. It's every year I found it. It's like, hey! And then I finally dove in this year, and it's been great, man. I'm addicted now. It's like I think about oh man, next 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, I'm already thinking about you. It's been great, man. It's been great. It's also been great when you you get a third place.
I mean, you've been winning some decent money because but listen, hey, it's deserved. You're fishing well.
On Rio, but I mean that didn't count, but that still felt good. I was
still won money.
100-degree water, yeah. That was fun.
You've won money. You've won prizes. You've won sponsored. You've won sponsored prizes. You've won trophies. You've won, right? Come on.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Everybody I met has been awesome too.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah, everybody's been chill.
We have a good group of people and I mean, I'm sure Jermaine will attest to it. The amount of stuff people will learn with fishing with this club it's astronomical. You will always learn something new.
Yeah.
And they're not afraid to share.
I forgot to touch on that. Joe freaking let me borrow his fish finder, his old one.
Oh, that's awesome.
He just literally just came to my job and just dropped it off. I was like, yo, just hold on to this until you get a new one. When you get a big boy one, let me get that back. That was for my son. I was like, all right, cool.
Wow.
Battery, all that.
That's how this club is, dude. I'm telling you, they're great guys and girls. They're awesome, awesome people.
Great gang. And honestly, and that he's the second person to say that. Because Tompkins was like, yo, if I find my striker, I'm going to just bring it. My old striker, whatever, he was like, just so you can have temperature and depth. Yeah, whatever. He was like, if I find it, I'll just bring it. I was the second person to offer that up, So, pretty cool. I told you I'm going to bag of 6 cents lures. Hook them up.
The sport of kayak fishing is growing astronomically at a pretty rapid rate.
Yep. So.
And, what's our membership? $60, and we have over 25 discount codes.
Yeah.
All you mother effers on here spend more than that. Probably 8 times more. Just don't tell your wives or girlfriends. 8 times, maybe 20 times more than that in tackle. And your first order, you get your membership money back in just discounts.
Yeah. I think I already got mine in Ned Rigs.
Oh God!
Straight up. Z-Man, the X. I mean, I don't care. It's the X, that X Zone. The Ned.
We have a lot of sponsors.
I love that thing. The green pumpkin blue. It just does it for me.
Dude, I'm a big green pump. I call it blue craw, is what I call it. That color,
Yeah.
that shimmer blue with the green
Oh.
pumpkin black flame. Oh,
Yeah.
vicious. Favorite color of all time.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Do you know why? What do you know the science behind it?
No. I know. I mean, somewhat, but not the
When
true
crawfish molt
yes,
and they
that's
change
they
their
get that
shells.
blue. They get that blue.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in the hot summer after they molt, they turn that orangey reddish. It's not really orangey red. It's weird color. It's like a dark brown red.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a rusty color, yeah.
And honestly, think about taking a crawfish or a crab and throwing them in boiling water to eat. It's not that color, but that's similar to what happens. Their shell tones start changing to that deeper dark brown red.
Yeah.
So there is a science behind it. But
So I learned something very, very interesting. In the spring and pre-spawn, bass tend to eat crustaceans, critters, and like hellgrammites and worms and stuff like that more. And then post-spawn is when they switch to forage.
do you know why?
I think it's because of the spawns, because they
Yes,
get all
but
like the smaller forage.
the reason now again, this is what they say. I don't think there's enough science to prove it. I don't know if they can prove it. That's where that whole red lips come from because
Yeah.
they're crushing. I don't believe it. I think a lot of people don't
Yeah,
believe it. I don't think that's why.
I've heard that it's hormonal.
I believe it is also. Yes, their tails bleed because they're pushing out beds. That's a fact. We all know that. But the crawfish and all that, and the worms and all that are easier targets when they're coming out of winter. They're lethargic. They don't want to work a lot for a big meal.
Yeah.
That's the other part of it. They're not moving fast. They're not taking off. They're not chasing. A crawfish will jump once or twice. They're pretty quick, but they can catch
double jump. It does like a boop boop, and then it goes away, and then it goes
and they'll eat them. Worms, all that.
Boop, boop.
Bass, bluegill, smaller bass, like you said, foraging stuff will take off and won't stop. They don't want to chase them.
Yeah, not yet.
Also,
now they do.
Now, when they spawn and that fry, you will see a bantam. That fry pushes off to the weed edge, and they're sitting on top. And then you have the minnows that chase up to the fry to eat them. It's literally a feeding frenzy. It's almost like saying, "Hey, nuke me here, throw a bomb here. I'm not sitting here." They're literally sitting there. That's how you can break it down. That's the forage. That's why they're chasing them, because now they have the energy, they have the warmth, and they're going to go chasing for bigger food sources.
Said Rich, it's Nick. I'm just busting chops. And my
I'm sure.
Well, like when I'm fishing in like the springtime, like I feel like even like you look at like panfish, right? Like largemouth, that's the big panfish predators. But like in like March, April, like you'll see some shallow, and then all of a sudden, like all the panfish in the lake are pushed shallow. So I guess like that kind of, just kind of connect dots where like there's like a certain
bluegill.
Bluegill.
So Colin told me something interesting, which I did not know this. I don't know if it's true. I'm not calling him a liar. He told me bluegill spawn every full moon. I don't know if I believe it.
Times a year, though. They do spawn multiple times.
I know, but how come bluegill only push up to beds when the bass are done? Because they take their beds over. Because right now at Bantam, bluegills are all over the beds.
Yeah. Well, it's like I think it's more like evolutionarily, like your predator species try to like time, because by the time the bluegill spawn, like a bass fry's already like fed on like whatever, macroinvertebrates, mayflies, dragonfly larvae, whatever. They get to a size, they're ready to prey on.
Getting to Google.
Yes,
bluegills often spawn around full moons in the summer, but they can spawn from early spring to early fall.
So they do have multiple spawns?
Yeah, they'll spawn until like almost August.
Really? See, I didn't
they
know that.
spawn all summer.
Yeah, and it's the big, mainly the big males, like those like 8-10 inch males are like the majority of
See,
what's
now here,
spawned for.
Yeah,
teaching lesson.
bluegills spawn around the full moon each month, from early spring through early fall.
Teaching
Yeah.
lesson. Something I'm not too familiar with, which is what we're talking about. Now, tomorrow at work, I'm going to dig into this because it's not something I'm comfortable with knowing. And it's like you don't go to war with a little bit of ammo because you're probably going to lose. The more ammo you have in fishing, the more knowledge you have, the better off you're going to be. I'm going to go study this now and see how it relates to bass to further my fishing career.
You know the thing with golden shiners? They'll
I've seen some
parasitize.
big ass golden shiners in my life.
Bluegill beds. So like they'll come in during the bluegill spawn, and they'll harass the bluegills. They'll scatter their eggs, and then the bluegill males end up raising some of the shiner young. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can watch it if you have a lake with shiners.
Dude, I'm learning a lot tonight. Look at this.
Yeah. That happens on the lake I live on all the time. You can watch them. They come in aggressive, like some big shiners, and they'll scatter. Like normally they'll scatter in just like coon tail, the bladderwort, whatever kind of.
So it's kind of like they're mixing up. So they're mixing up the eggs.
Yeah, like they'll normally just disperse if there isn't panfish, but they'll use panfish because once there's already eggs on their bed, they're not going to differentiate between a shiner eggs and their own eggs, and they'll end up raising it. Yeah, so it's a form of parasitism. Yeah, I'm a big fish nerd.
Damn, that's like someone dropping a damn orphan on my doorstep and me raising it. Smart idea.
Yeah.
Right? They'd be like, he doesn't look like a scumbag. He's not going to just throw it back to the world. But don't bass spawn too?
No, bass spawn once. I think, yes, they spawn in around a time frame, but bass spawn one time. They don't have multiple. Now, there's different waves to the spawn.
Yeah.
But a single female will not spawn, I don't think, more than once.
So I think
she'll spawn with more than one male, but it's in like a window. Yeah.
I think she'll spawn more than one male, but she won't. I don't think they spawn multiple times. Except they said down south because it stays warm for so long.
They have two spawns. They have two spawns down South Florida. Yes.
They'll get a double spawn. Yeah.
They'll spawn in like January, then they'll spawn again in like April. So I don't know the exact dates. Or something
weird.
December.
Something weird because their temperature.
Not up here. They don't spawn more. Now there's different waves, so you might have a 3-week, 4-week spawn period because there's 3 different waves of them. But it's like you said.
Yeah, I don't think we don't get the double spawn. Hell no.
No.
No, hell no. But
dude, these fish are hoes, man.
But yeah, Rich, going back to like why bass spawn before panfish, it's like I said, evolutionary thing. Like at some point in time, it just was bass that spawned earlier than bluegills. It was more beneficial because their young had more time to capitalize on a food source than like if they spawned at the same time.
Listen, if my ass was a little 0.3 ounce bluegill ready or whatever, and there was some big fat 5.8 pound mama looking at me, you bet your ass she's getting that bed. I ain't fighting her. And it ain't because I'm getting beat, because I ain't dying to get eaten.
Yep.
I'm good. I'm really good. But I'll leave it on this. But isn't it amazing how fast the spawn gets here?
Yep.
And then you blink and it's gone.
It's gone. Last week I went out. It was I saw a couple fish on beds. This week I went out. I just went out today. I went to Rockland Lake. Flooded with fry. Flooded. I launched, and I don't launch off the boat ramp. I launched in that little slip next to it and just slide in and go.
Yeah.
So I come up through that like 1 to 3 foot shallow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's all in
there.
Yeah.
They had like 3 or 4 fry, like what do you call them? Like fry bubbles, like the size of me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, the water's moving. Oh, there's a bunch of fry. Holy crap. And I paddled like 6 feet, another one.
And they're balls. Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And they're all like a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, right?
Yeah, they're like stupid small. They literally look like the thread on a jig, It's like you see there's just so many of them together.
Almost like translucent looking.
Yeah. They're not even like big yet.
Well, think about it. When you go saltwater, you ever watch these saltwater videos? And you got the mackerel and all that. Not mackerel. I don't know what bait fish are out there like that. But you know, you got marlin coming into schools of 500 of these bait fish, whacking them out, and they're all swimming in a circle in a ball.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
Yep. It's the same thing. You know, they're about, and then the percentage of them that survive is like 1%.
Yeah, the reef spawn rate of like a 5-pound bass is extremely low from baby, very low.
Yeah, 5-pound bass is like stupid rare. So like, be thankful when you catch one over 5.
Well, I saw actually this was not too recent, but with the bass, like once a bass fingerling gets like 1.5 inches, they start eating each other.
Yeah.
Do they really?
Yeah, and once they get to like 1.5 inches, they'll start becoming more pescivorous, and that's when they start feeding on. Like in the beginning, they're eating on, you know, little like water fleas and crap, and then they get to certain size, they start eating.
Bats are effed up species. They eat each other.
They're super opportunistic. That's it.
They're hoes. What else you got on them? To be really think about it.
That's how
they can eat, like a largemouth can eat. Was it fish like a third its size? So like a 12-inch largemouth can eat like a 5-inch.
I've seen it one time in my life. I actually pulled a bluegill out of a bass's mouth that was stuck floating on top of the water. It actually survived, but I couldn't believe the size of the bluegill. But getting it back out with the spikes was a nightmare. The bluegill was dead, so I broke the spines out off the fins, and the bass swam away. Whether it survived or not, I don't know, but it swam away. I couldn't believe the size of it. I'm like, this thing ain't gonna fit in your stomach, dude.
Yeah, it's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that to yourself? But
and then once they get it in, it ain't coming back out with the spines and the dorsal fins.
Yeah, that's it. It's done.
But shit's sharp.
But all right, fellas, I think we'll end it on that. I gotta get my butt to bed. I got work.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm shy. I got work in the morning. Then I think I'm leaving here like 7 o'clock for bed.
You guys up late. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Nico. We gotta get you back on, man. You got your little bank of knowledge over there, man. You got some tips and tricks. We'll get you on here to talk about. We probably get you on here talking about jerkbaiting, man, because I know that's your
jerkbait, swim jigs, even like finesse stuff. Yeah, man. That's what I love to do.
Rich, you already know, man. You already know. Rich got trophies and all that stuff and all that.
Me? No.
Rich is rich.
No, I don't.
Well, me and Nico are
do our best. In all the spots.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to not let you win this Saturday. And
who?
Me and Nico. What you mean?
Who?
Me and Nico.
Rich, I think the car's smoking. I think I see smoke in the park.
Snickers batteries.
Honestly, this we'll end it on here, but this event means more to me than most, just because this is a style of fishing that I love. This is what I do. This is what I enjoy. So if I don't pull it out here, then whoever beat me that day, and I'm not trying to sound like a cocky asshole, straight up beat me, and they deserve it, because this is my forte in fishing.
That's what I want to do.
And I hope one of you do. As stupid as that sounds, I want to win, but I hope one of you do beat me, because this is what I've done for years and years, is put me in the nastiest grass possible.
Well, I fully believe in the thing of beating somebody at their best. You know,
I agree.
Beating them at their best.
That's it.
Beat me at my best, dude. You were a lot better than me that day. Congratulations, and I hope, and I'm excited for the battle.
We'll see. All right, fellas. Until then.
All right, guys. See you guys. All have a good night.
Saturday. Well, I'll see you guys on Friday at the boat ramp. So,
what time are you coming up?
I'll probably leave. I want to leave here probably I always say this, but I want to leave 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's about what I'm probably gonna leave.
Yeah. So.
I'll have the beer ready, nice and cold.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
All right, y'all.
Later, guys.
Everyone take it easy till next week. Deuces. Back to regular Monday schedule too. So see y'all then. Take it easy.